went from poverty to penitentiary to paradise. Took a lot of L's, but without them, I couldn't spell life. Like, I was like, ooh, what up, everybody? It is your boy Jabbar back again with another video, and welcome to my channel, Kakashi Cowboy Reviews. I want to get back to my regular scheduled programming. Today is the day. I actually have good lighting. I also haven't done a review on any music in a while. So this will be my first music review. Also going into Black History Month, happy Black History Month. But I do want to get back to reviewing and not just ranting, with this channel, not just ranting, even though those rants, they're funny or whatever, and they're just good releases of frustration. Of the fuck shit that is going on in the world. And this review is going to be about Lil Wayne's The Funeral album. I didn't know what to expect when I saw the title The Funeral. He has a little bit of hints and nods towards Kobe and the death of Kobe. Lil Wayne is a Lakers fan. And when I first listened to the album, I thought to myself, I was like, honestly, if I was looking at this as a project, as like a Wayne project, because I've listened to all the Carters, and all the Carters, despite what people say about Wayne or whatever, his albums are very neat, neatly structured. The albums flow very well sonically together. The songs flow very well sonically from one song to the next. The themes of the music and the certain topics all flow from one to the next very well. His albums are very neat. Despite this sort of image of Lil Wayne sort of being this wild, crazy child of the rap world or whatever, this one was very messy. And actually, I ended up, after listening to it for a fourth and fifth time, I was just kind of this album is one of the messiest Wayne albums I've ever heard. It doesn't really sound like an album at all. It sounds like more of a mixtape. I know that Drake sort of coined the term playlist or whatever, but it just sort of felt like a bunch of random songs thrown together in a project. And not that those songs were bad. I actually think that this album, The Funeral, has a lot more replay value than his Carter 5 album. Yeah, Carter 5 album. Because I haven't really, there's only a couple songs up there that I go back and listen to. It's 3 or so, but I've been consistently listening to this album over and over and over again. I find myself though skipping around. I don't like other Wayne projects where I will literally start from beginning to end. This one I skip around. Whatever I'm in the mood for at the time, whatever sort of sound or the emotion that I'm wanting from him at the time, I sort of just skip around, and it just sort of feels like these are just a bunch of different songs that he made at a bunch of different times, and he put them all into a project. But they're not really neatly together. I would think if this was a mixtape, I would give it honestly a 10 out of 10. But it's not a mixtape. He's marketing it as an album, so to me it's kind of messy. So I mean, honestly, I kind of gave it a 7 out of 10, or a 7 out of 10 or something like that. But the songs aren't bad. They have a lot of replay value. I actually enjoyed them. People have this thing where they think that they think Lil Wayne is the GOAT and he can do no wrong, or they think that Lil Wayne has fallen off. Most people are like, Lil Wayne fell off, his bars got silly. I also think that people don't understand a lot of times that Lil Wayne is very facetious, very sarcastic, very funny, and very silly in his music. He's very playful. I like playful rappers. Lil Wayne is one of my favorite rappers. And people can't really decipher what are supposed to be the serious bars from what are supposed to be the more so just be him being funny bars. People make all types of memes. I remember that one meme where the dude was like, this is how Lil Wayne raps, and he was he was like, put the child on my step, call it my stepchild. And it was just it's okay, but Lil Wayne never rapped that. That was just something that the guy made up. But it was supposed to sort of represent how stupid and how simple Lil Wayne's metaphors and wordplay is. And people don't really understand that he's being funny. Like a lot of times he even says in songs like I'm just being stupid or whatever. Like one time he said I can laugh on the track, ha 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 ha. Like Wheezy F baby, and the F is for phenomenal. Like of course Wayne knows that phenomenal doesn't start with an F. He's again being funny. Like Lil Wayne is just like, he's a very playful rapper. He likes to make fun of even the game itself, you know, and I don't think people really understand that or get it or can decipher between, oh, that's a serious bar, and oh, he's just being stupid here, he's just being funny. And I find that kind of frustrating because people will take those bars that are like, you know, put the child on my step, call it my stepchild, and they'll take it so literally and so seriously as if like Lil Wayne is just, you know, he's lost it, you know, he doesn't have the capability to rap anymore or whatever. And it's just like, you don't get it. He's like being funny, laugh along, like just laugh, like just laugh and move on. But yeah, again, he does have bars like that in this, but he also has a lot of serious bars. Like I really liked when he said something about, like, he has a lot of serious undertones. Like when he said, I went from poverty to penitentiary to paradise. Took a lot of L's, but without him I couldn't spell life. Like I was like, ooh, like Lil Wayne has very serious undertones and undertones of themes in his music that I really enjoy. This one wasn't exactly like, that's again why I'm also giving this album like a 6.57 out of 10, because like the themes of funeral and death, they weren't exactly as neat and as polished as his other themes. Like I remember in Carter 4, like there's a lot of themes about, you know, going to prison and his time in prison and like what it felt like. He always finds a way to circle back around to prison. Also, you know, the fact that he's the best and the fact that even though he was gone, you know, he still can eat you niggas up. But he always circles back around to it, and it's very like, it just always picks back up. The theme always comes back around full circle. I didn't feel like the theme of funeral came back around full circle. I feel like it was kind of all over the place, but that's also because I feel like the songs are all over the place. I also feel like the last couple of songs were just filler songs. Like the one with OT Genesis, like I don't know, I just wasn't, that was called T.O. I'm guessing it was supposed to be T.O.O.T. Like, okay. I also didn't like the Adam Levine song that much. I know him and Adam Levine like did a song together, I think on the Carter 3. It was supposed to be more of a pop record, but this one just wasn't hitting. I also didn't like that one song he did where he was singing a lot. It just sounded kind of childish and kiddie. It sounded like he was trying to make a new version of How to Love, but like make it for today's kids or whatever. But it sounded a little dated. It sounded a little old. But I did really love like songs like Ball Hard. Even though all that he's really doing is just rapping names like Eric Sermon, Pee Wee Herman, Tina Turner, Buy It Furnished, Shop Italian, Drive It German, The Way Rihanna, Ball Hard, She Need a Condo, huh? Like it's just, you know, like he's just rapping names, but like I just felt like the concept of, nigga, I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna rap some names. And I'm gonna make a hit song. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, something about that was just, I just always am surprised by that song. I'm not surprised by it, but just, it surprised me because I just didn't expect it, I guess. And then also, it's just good. It's a good song. Like, it's a good song. He just raps names. He just raps names, and like that's the song, and it's still good. I also was also why I was shocked by that song was because Little Twist. I really haven't seen Little Twist since the beginning of the Young Money days when he had that one song. I forget what it was, but it was like some like Little Twist was in that weird phase where he was trying to sort of be this mix between Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, and so he was kind of making music that was like trying to cater to the young teenage girls at the time. So that's what he was doing. So to hear him on this song, to hear him sound more grown up, more polished, more experienced, it was really nice. It was really just nostalgic. I also liked Mahogany. I liked Mamma Mia. I liked a lot of the records. I thought that Make It Clap or songs to clap back or something like that. Song was like a little nice fun song where he referenced Nicki's verse with Big Sean. Also, Big Sean is on here. Big Sean and Lil Baby's record with him on here is pretty good. I also like the fact that he just let the dream. I had to look at my phone because I was like, who is this singing this song? I think it's called Sights and Silence. I really, really love the song, and the lyrics are really beautiful. The lyrics are really, really beautiful on that song, and I didn't realize that it was the dream singing it because it changed. I don't know if he did. I don't think there was as much auto tune on his voice, which I found really nice. But he just lets him sing, and then Lil Wayne just sort of ad libs with him at the end. But he just lets the dream sing, have his own moment. I really like that. I like Line 'Em Up. He takes a little shot at Birdman, talking about put respect on my name. Don't know where I got that from. I also feel like there's this criticism of Lil Wayne of like, oh, well, he's not evolving or da 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 da. And I really have to ask people, like, what does that mean? Like, I don't really feel like any Wayne album sounds the same. So what do you mean by what do people mean by evolution? I don't feel like The Funeral sounds like the Carter 5, sounds like the Carter 3, 2, or 1. Like, the most similar records to me are 1 and 2. Carter 1 and 2, they sound very similar, with slight variations. Carter 3, completely different sound. Carter 4, completely different sound. Carter 5, completely different sounds. This album, completely different sounds. I don't know. Like, I feel like he's always messing with different concepts, he's always messing with music sonically as well. Also, like, I just feel like when people say he didn't evolve, like, I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want from a lot of artists that they say that about. Like, if an artist is trying something new, what do you mean they didn't evolve? Like, I just feel like the only obligation of an artist is to try something new and not be and do the exact same thing that they've done before. Whatever they're going to switch up. In terms of content, I don't feel like an artist has an obligation to change their content for the audience. If an artist has a certain theme, as long as they're changing up sonically their style or whatever, then that's what they change up. Now, the themes in this album weren't exactly the best. I can admit that. The themes in this album weren't the best. They weren't put together well. Like, I feel like there was this undertone of death, but I didn't really come away with, like, it didn't circle back around for me like it did in the other albums, like, or in the Carter 4, where the idea of penitentiary and being locked up, that sort of kept coming back full circle all the time. This album, Death and Funeral, We're At a Funeral. Like, he starts the song out with We're At a Funeral, but then I don't feel like they came back up. Again, while I'm giving a 6. But the reason why I'm not giving it lower is because I feel like a lot of these songs have a lot of replay value. And as long as a lot of your album has a lot of replay value to me, I don't mind it that much. So I give this like a 6.57. Is it his best album? No. I think it's better than the Carter 5, though, again, because of the replay value. I don't think a lot of the Carter 5 has a lot of replay value. Excuse my screen. I don't think a lot of the Carter 5 has a lot of replay value. So this is definitely above the Carter 5 for me. But the Carters 4 and 3 will always be at the top of my list, with the Carter 4 at number 1 and the Carter 3 comes behind it in a very close tie for first place, but it's still second. This one, I should actually do a separate video about this, and I think I will. And I will see you all next time for the next video. Out.